When you encounter an adult male gorilla in the wild, the first thing that strikes you is the sheer scale of the animal. A fully grown silverback can weigh up to 485 pounds and stand a towering 6 feet tall. Looking at a primate with that much muscle mass, it is easy to assume they survive by dominating their environment through brute force and aggression. But these are actually docile herbivores. They spend their days quietly foraging through the dense forests of Central Africa, picking out roots, fruit, stems, and wild celery. Despite this immense physical power, their lives are governed by a rigid social framework and a highly specific hierarchy. For a gorilla, surviving in the wild requires strict order. The architecture of their community, rather than physical strength, is what keeps them alive. We can map out a typical gorilla group, known as a troop. At the top sits a single dominant male, the silverback. He acts as the primary peacekeeper, mediating internal conflicts to maintain order among dozens of individuals. That leadership extends outward into the environment. He dictates the daily schedule, deciding exactly when and where the entire troop will safely move to forage through the dense, unforgiving jungle. Without this central anchor directing their movements and enforcing the peace, a group of massive, powerful primates could not coexist. Moving down the structure, we find the adult females, whose biological investment in the troop is massive. A female gorilla undergoes an 8.5-month gestation period and typically only gives birth to one infant every 4 years. This rare reproductive cycle creates an intense maternal bond. Mothers are fiercely protective, and the newborn lives in a state of absolute reliance on her for safety, guidance, and nourishment. As these infants grow, they spend their early years playing and vigorously exploring alongside other young members of the troop. This playtime is a mandatory training ground. It is where young gorillas learn the strict behavioral rules required to successfully integrate into the adult hierarchy. Keeping a multi-generational family peaceful in such dense proximity requires active, daily maintenance. Members spend hours grooming each other. It removes parasites, but it also physically reinforces familial bonds and confirms an individual's specific place within the hierarchy. They also rely on a complex vocabulary of sounds. Soft grunts and hoots regularly signal deep, peaceful contentment, while sudden, loud roars act as a targeted warning system for approaching danger. Up close, their faces do much of the heavy lifting. They use subtle shifts in expression and body language to broadcast complex feelings across the group without making a single sound. Their intelligence even extends to active problem solving. Gorillas are fully capable of utilizing tools in the wild, like carefully manipulating sticks to extract termites from a mound. These specific grooming rituals, their specialized tools, and communication methods act as the social glue. They reveal a rich inner world that stops the society from fracturing. Because the troop relies entirely on these deep emotional bonds and strict rules, the whole system is highly sensitive. Today, wild populations face severe external threats. They are dealing with rapid habitat loss from deforestation, capture for the exotic pet trade, and devastating diseases like Ebola. Removing a single silverback or mother creates a cascading failure. It shatters the internal framework of the entire family. Because their survival is entirely dependent on social order, any external threat to an individual is a threat to the viability of the entire society. To counter this decline, conservation groups are turning to responsible ecotourism. Through carefully managed trekking permits, humans can non-invasively observe these animals in their natural habitat. The revenue from these permits flows back into local economies, creating a financial incentive for neighboring communities to become active stewards of the environment. By securing the massive tracts of forest required to sustain a single gorilla troop, conservationists end up safeguarding the entire surrounding ecosystem, along with countless other species. The anatomy of a gorilla troop proves that survival requires connection and strict cooperation. It serves as a stark reminder of our own responsibility to maintain the balance of the natural world.